Welcome to the NES Warp Zone series, where we take a trip down memory lane and revisit each Nintendo release. My name is Craig Majeski. Joining me are Mike Bonebreak.
How's it going?
Good, thanks.
And Aaron Conwell.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, hello.
So Duck Hunt is an interesting one. It came out way back in 1984 in the arcades, and it was a launch title for the Nintendo in the New York test market. So in October of 1985, when the NES was debuted in the New York market, they actually bundled Duck Hunt in with Gyromite. And so when you bought the deluxe set, it would eventually be called the deluxe set, you got the 2 cartridges, plus you got the Zapper gun, the Rob the Robot, the Nintendo control deck, and of course then the 2 control pads. So Duck Hunt would later go on to be packed in with the action set as well, which would become probably the most popular system bundle out there for the NES, and that would have Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on a single cartridge. So Duck Hunt, for the most part, is probably the most packed in game during the NES life cycle, is my guess on that, since it's from 1985 through well into like 1990, 91, probably, something like that. So I think most people that bought a Nintendo back in the 80s and early 90s played Duck Hunt at least once. And so it's probably one of the most played Nintendo games out there. And it's also one of the easiest just to pick up and play, because who doesn't know how to shoot a gun? So you pick up the little zapper and you point it at the screen, and you try and take out the ducks, and hopefully you don't miss and see the annoying dog come up and laugh at you and things like that. And in the arcade, it was actually Versus Duck Hunt, and it was also included in the Play Choice 10, which would come out a little bit later, where there would be 10 different NES games bundled in to the arcade machine, and then you'd put in a quarter, and then you'd have a time limit on how much time you'd have to play any of the games. So it was pretty much anywhere, the arcades or in the home, you could play this game. Very popular title. Unfortunately, has a limited appeal, I think, after a while. Interestingly enough, though, if you look at today's technology with the flat screen LCD TVs and such, you really can't play this game properly, because the Zapper light gun required the use of the CRT, the old tube set televisions, in order to register each shot. And so you really can't do that with the new screens. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this did come to the Wii Virtual Console at some point, and they just sort of reprogrammed the game with the Wii Remote functionality. So it would put a cursor on the screen and it would move around with your Wii Remote. And it would be kind of cool if more Zapper games would have that type of emulation included, so that way more of these Zapper games could be re-released in some sort of a virtual environment for people to play today on that. And I think over the years this game's been rated several times from different sites. Over the years it's been pretty positive, I think, from most places, but I don't really have a review from back in the day, unfortunately. So Duck Hunt, definitely a fun title, but very limited appeal in today's day and age.
I gave it a 6, which on the site, which was considered worth considering, which is on our review score. 6 is above mediocre, so it's not a bad game by any means. I actually liked Duck Hunt for the most part, but it was so shallow that once you've played a few rounds, you kind of know what the game is, and I just never really got into it as much as some people. I can see adults getting into it more, but as a kid growing up, it was fun to play for a little while until you got sick of it, and then you just wanted to play Mario.
Right.
I think you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yep, very innovative game for the time and stuff.
Yep.
And yes, I remember it being fun, but compared to...
Mm-hmm. So a 6 on our scale is one of those things where, hey, guess what? If you're into hunting ducks, or if you like that sort of thing, then this is probably like an 8 for you. Like it's like hey, if you already like that, then a 6 is a great score for you to buy it. But a 6 for everyone else, it's just like, it's worth considering. It's like you probably need to try it and see how it sits with you. And that's what I felt
buy that game alone, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But I mean, it was a perfect thing to put in.
To pack in and kind of give you something to do with that Zapper.
Sure. I give it a 6 also.
Yeah, I would say so.
Thank you for watching Nintendo Times. If you like what you saw, please give us a thumbs up down below. Feel free to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. For more Nintendo news, reviews, previews, features, and more, check out nintendotimes.com. Click the subscribe button below for more videos. If you enjoy our content, please consider supporting us on patreon.com/nintendotimes.